It's so fucking confusing. Oh, you're not
It's
supposed to
not.
swear.
Oh
You're
no,
not supposed
the
to
stream is
swear. We're
live.
live. I think for the algorithm, we're not supposed to swear, at least for the first. Oh, wait, I forgot to hit live over here. I
Go
don't
live on
understand
Instagram. All right, we'll get there.
why.
We'll
Oh,
get
there we
there.
go. It's popped up now.
Okay,
We're
I think we
live
got it.
on Instagram and all places. I can't figure out how to do lower thirds on here, and I gave Josh the wrong time. So I'm Maya May for everybody who doesn't know. And
I'm Lauren Lehman Carter.
Lauren, you
Hi.
and I feel like we're besties, but we've never met in person.
It really makes my heart sad. I'm gonna have to come visit you,
You do have
but
to come visit me.
I am so I'm kind of witchy, and I really believe that there are people who we have encountered in other lifetimes, and we recognize each other here, and I'm finding like a decent handful of them right now in this moment, and it's almost like you're gonna need people. Like it's fascism. You're gonna need people. So we're finding
I
each other.
I was gonna say you're witchy. I'm woo woo as well. I've got my crystals. I've got my sound balls, and I'm telling. Look at our. We have similar eyes.
We
Actually, we
do.
could like.
I mean,
So yeah, we do need each other right
crystals,
now.
like as we
You have your amethyst right with you.
right with me.
I don't. That maybe that's why the algorithm hasn't been happy with me. Is I don't have my crystals with me. They're like upstairs. I need to
Oh
bring my
yeah.
crystals downstairs.
Yeah. I
That's
think.
They need to be right in the studio. What are we doing? What are we doing here? It's Friday. America, you got this. We're going to talk about a lot today healthcare in Europe versus the US. We're going to
Mhm.
talk about my $100 MRI. Gummies,
Um,
of course. That's the title of the episode because you know more about gummies than I do.
And the answer to the question is yes, we do need gummies for this.
But
I mhm.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me, make that okay. So everybody, just you understand, we're different generations. My generation didn't have gummies like growing
Mm,
up, so it was like you either smoked weed
yeah.
illegally or not at all, or made brownies or what have you. And
Yeah.
so this whole like weed and candy and vapes and like this is very new to me, and I have like I want to say it's been like well over like 5 years since I've.
Wait, when did you graduate high school? How
Oh my,
close?
I'm so old. We're gonna talk about menopause as
I'm
well.
also old, so I
You're not
wonder.
old though. I'm old.
I was
In
born in
compa
1981.
I was oh, really?
Yeah,
You are aging very well for a
thank thank you. I definitely follow Black women when it comes to skincare and
uh,
hydration
it's
because
working.
and I have a really great light.
I was gonna say, no, it's working. I was gonna say, maybe it's light. Maybe I'll see you in person and be like, oh, maybe not so much. But I'm looking at you
It's
right now. You look freaking fantastic.
thank you.
I was born in 77, so I was class of 95, Downers Grove
Okay,
South, Mustangs.
what up?
Yeah.
I should have been class of 99, but I'm class of 2000. I ADHD held a girl back in first grade, so I did it twice.
Did you know you like had ADHD? Were you diagnosed?
Yeah, except it was that early 80s diagnosis wave where they just kind of gave you Ritalin and sent you back on your way. And it wasn't anything like the supports that kids have now. So I really struggled all the way through school. It wasn't until I got to college and I started finding my groove, Columbia College, Chicago. That's when
You
I
went to Columbia. What did you
yeah.
study?
I did an interdisciplinary degree, so I had 2 majors,
Okay.
combined into one.
Yeah.
My major was public relations, my minor was vocal jazz performance.
Boo-doo-doo, ba-ba-da-ba.
Hence the
What?
hence the Billie Holiday back here. Um,
Okay, I'm like, all of me. Why not
yeah,
take
yeah.
all of me? All right.
So
I did not know this about you. This is exciting. This is now a singing show, everyone. We are rebranding. America, You Got This is now just because I secretly, or not so secret, I just took singing lessons for like a couple months.
I love this so much.
Yeah.
How do you find that it's impacted the way that you speak also? Like, do you sit in a different register from the vocal lessons?
That you're gonna have to translate that
Because
to
like
me. I don't even know what you just said.
when I'm not doing it right now. I'm like sitting flat on my vocal cords. And that's where you get that like vocal fry. I feel like it's heavy, but if I'm really thinking about it, I'll like project out of my forehead. I know it's weird. Weird, yeah, weird.
I was in an introductory class and all we did were breathing exercises. And then at first I was learning to sing Sweet Child of Mine was my song of choice. And then he was like, maybe you should pick a different song. I was like, but I love Guns N' Roses.
Okay, Axl Rose is from my hometown.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was from Illinois.
He's from Indiana.
Oh, wait, you're from Indiana? Wait,
I'm
how'd you
from
end up in sorry guys, we're gonna get to the topics that
We'll
you're
get
interested
there.
in at some point, but right now we're focused on us. So you're either gonna enjoy us talking to us about us, and then we'll talk about my MRI. Um,
And
but yeah,
gummies.
yeah.
No, I
Anyway.
grew up in West Lafayette, Indiana, so a few blocks away from Purdue. And it wasn't until I transferred from Purdue to Columbia that I moved to Chicago and I fell in love with this city and stayed. Um, but yeah, but Indiana, not a whole lot going on. So we also had the brownies and but it was like joints and but then we were also really good kids. So there was this weird kind of Indiana, like you're showing up and you're doing all of the extracurricular activities, but then you might go get high in a cornfield. And now we have
That's so Indiana. It's like there's more than corn in Indiana at
there's
Indiana. I know the jingles.
and there's also pot in Indiana.
There's also pie. Well, I went to college in Iowa, so
Oh.
yeah, we know a lot about cornfields between the two of us. So back to gummies because I am raw dogging, as the
Mm,
kids say. I'm raw dogging my way through fascism, and it is challenging.
yeah.
It's
I
challenging.
I I don't know how I don't know how that I have really pumped the brakes on alcohol consumption.
Mhm.
Um and I did a little too much of the alcohol consumption during the first Trump presidency.
Okay,
So we're not
fair.
doing that. That was when Rosé was really having a moment.
You're like, I will just wino my way through these 4 years. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. We got our pussy hats. We got our rosé. We're fine.
Everything's fine. I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna it was great. And now it's gummies. And in Michigan, they're more cost effective. So sometimes my girlfriends and I, we will drive to Michigan, have dinner in New Buffalo, and then come back with copious amounts of gummies.
Okay, and so explain to me how so because I have CBD gummies, which I ran out of, so I
Yeah.
don't even have that. And so that was what I was doing for like when I was back in the States, and I was like, I'm gonna kill somebody if I don't
Mhm.
have this CBD right now. So is the gummy just to help you when you're ready to just strangle someone, or is it more of like maintenance level, like a gummy a day keeps the rage away?
I do know people who operate under that.
Okay.
That's spectacular. They're microdosing and it's
Okay.
just kind of yeah, like basically they're self-medicating instead of an anti-anxiety kind of med.
Mhm.
I know people who do that. I personally just use them for sleep. And I don't know, maybe like once a week I'll use it's like when it's really bad, when it's been a bad day or when like I used one last night and that was the first time in 2 weeks that I've taken one to sleep and I cut them in half. And it just helps me sleep. But sometimes, instead of a glass of wine, I would rather have a THC drink or I would rather cuz now they make them in like a carbonated kind of like a spindrift, but a little more fun.
Well, and I have weird feelings about legalized marijuana. Like I really do. I sound like such an old person. I'm like marijuana. I have a hard time with marijuana. But I remember the first time I went into a dispensary in California and it was like two tech bros in polos. And I was like, no, no, no. Like, Black and brown people are in prison for this right now. And you're here profiting. It just bothered me so much. And I think it's part of the reason why I haven't been like, yeah, I'm going to like go ahead and smoke weed through this. It's like, it gives me like I get it. You're supposed to go in there to relax. And I go in there and I'm like, I'm angrier.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually angry. Okay. So it helps you sleep. Does it give you weird dreams?
It actually kind of turns my dreams off. So dreams are kind of,
I
I
don't
know.
want your dreams to be turned off.
Well, in a like if they're nightmare adjacent dreams, it just kind of like quiets my brain. But the best is if I need it to wind down and then I turn on like an old Schitt's Creek and just kind of zone out. And I don't like to talk to people after I've had a gummy. So once I take a gummy, it's lights out.
The fam
But then
knows. You're like,
yeah.
yeah, she's out. Okay.
And I don't feel groggy in the morning after I take them. But no, it is like there's this whole social justice angle of it that if we have it legalized, why have we not nationally expunged charges, released like that part of it is definitely that's a thing. And it
It's
does kind of feel
everything.
like an Apple store. Like you walk in and it's like
Yeah, and I just there's certain things that I'm like, nope, I don't know that I can get with this. And so maybe not gummies for me, but I need something. I've also I've tried to keep the wine down. For me, it was the 2022 midterms where I was like, I'm just gonna have a bottle of wine at the ready because I was stressed. I was like, this one was like, because at the time I was interviewing a lot of experts on authoritarianism, fascism, domestic terrorism, all that stuff. And they were basically like, this is a critical election. And if we don't do this, and so I had like a lot mentally and emotionally riding on that. And I was like, I'm going to have to. And so I was like cupcakes and wine. But now when I drink wine, I get hot flashes. Let's talk about
it is a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. I had it, and it's worse with red wine. And
okay, so that's interesting to know. So I didn't think about trying a different kind of wine. So this is now a menopause conversation, y'all.
And also, I am looking up. I wonder if there are any Black-owned edible companies. So I am Googling this because I feel like maybe that's the workaround is if we can support, especially if we can support a Black woman-owned THC business.
Okay, that's just going to be my business now. I've decided I'm going to be a drug stealer.
That feels like the way. That's the way. Because we like to be intentional about where we're spending our money anyway. So like maybe instead of just getting whatever gummy seems to do the trick, I need to be a little more intentional because I don't know who's making these gummies. I need to, all right, I'm going to do some research.
Everybody, assignment. I love giving assignments because I used to be a teacher. And so I'm always like, assignment, research where you're getting your gummies from and make sure that you are not putting money in the pockets of fascist tech bros. We don't want that.
We should co-author a Substack where we like we've vetted and we're all of our coping strategies except buy from these specific businesses. Support these women.
I love this idea, and I guess in order to do that, I will have to partake. I will have to experiment with weed. The thing, I like to be present, and so I meditate a ton, and meditation helps just push my anxiety down to a level, but where I can be super present. And the thing that freaks me out about gummies is I don't want to just all of a sudden be like, I don't want to be high anymore, but I'm still high. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, yeah. Once you're hot, you are on that journey. And for me, like, I understand that gummies, it's about 4 hours that I'm going to be. So like, I need to make sure that I'm in a block where that's okay. And that I'm not going to be, and as a mother, what happens if a child breaks an ankle and all of a sudden you have to go to the emergency room and you're like,
I'm high.
Everything's great. So that's another part of it.
That's what Uber's for. Actually, we were going to talk about healthcare costs because they're a little bit out of control. So, see, this is the problem with both of us having ADHD and Josh not being here to
keep us on
moderate
track.
this. Yeah, because we have to finish talking about gummies and we have to finish talking about menopause. But I want to run this clip really quickly,
Yes,
and then we
please.
can talk about that.
In the red. How is the president doing, broadly speaking, on the issue of health care?
Yeah, if we talk about health care, why don't we just look at the highest disapproval ratings for presidents this century? And you can see it right here. The one in red on your screen, Donald Trump, 65% disapprove of him on health care. That is the highest. That is the highest for any president this century. Biden was at 57%. That was his highest. Obama, remember, this was around the Obamacare debate, right? He was at 63%. Trump's actually beating him on this score. It's just a score you don't want to be winning on. And then, of course, Bush, when there was all this talk about privatizing Social Security, he was at 63%. But Donald Trump takes the cake on this issue, 65% disapproval, the highest for any president this century.
I have to say, my major...
That says a lot to me.
I mean, you talked about self-medicating earlier. I could very well see people can't afford their medications and are maybe going, oh, this is another option that's cheaper, is wine or gummies or just walking through pot smoke somewhere. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
just trying to catch a secondhand.
Yeah, like a contact high. Like, I'm just going to hang around a bunch of teenagers outside.
Or tech bros on their way to work, and it smells a little like watermelon. It's not.
Is that what is? So everything has sense now. Is that how?
I think the vapes, you can get them flavored and scented, and I don't like the vapes because I don't like the coughing. So that's why I'm kind of an exclusive edible eater.
Well, and also, don't vape. I thought there was proven science that it like messes up your lungs. Like, doesn't it do like that? Okay.
Yes, exactly. There's this program instead of DARE. It is called Too Good for Drugs. And my kids know that
I don't know about that name. I feel like that's kind of a dumb name.
It's a real dumb name. And my kids know that I will take an edible. And like I try to be very open with them about certain things that need to be discussed. Like war, gas prices, things that a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old should understand. But they came home and they were like, Mom, I thought you were too good for drugs. No, I'm not.
It does flip parenting on its head, right? Because I don't know how I would explain to my daughter, and she would just roast the shit out of me if and I remember like back when I like smoked for like one of the first times, and I went to Amsterdam with my mom. And my mom, I was so nervous that my mom, who grew up in the 60s, had to roll the joint for me. And like, how embarrassing is that?
That's this has turned into an entire, like, we were like healthcare for a second and then back to
well, it's the weave. Trust me, when Trump talks about the weave, I'm like, I get it. I get it. That's ADHD, man. I'm all over the place too. I get it. I'm just not president, so it's okay.
My mom, I once brought her a joint years ago, like probably 16 years ago. And she hadn't smoked one in such a long time. And I'm coughing up a storm. I had zero chill. And then I was like, oh, it burns more than I remember it. And my mom, cool as a cucumber, goes, it's like riding a bike.
That's amazing. Your mom sounds amazing. That's really funny. Our moms would probably like each other. They would probably hang out.
But okay, healthcare. Health, it's back to being serious. I wonder how much of this is people in communities where hospitals are closing and they're starting to lose access to not just healthcare from a cost perspective, but just from an actual accessibility perspective, because they really are there. Sorry, the allergies are just, my eyes are watering.
Put a gummy on it.
I really should.
I don't know if are there gummies for that? I don't know.
Just rub it. But no, I wonder how much of this is coming from people who voted for Trump and are now in an economic situation or even just an access situation in terms of healthcare. I wonder what that breakdown would be. I'm
I'd love to
curious.
know because there's not any. I haven't seen a single focus group or news outlet interview people. Everything's all at the pump. Everything they're interviewing people at the pump. It's harder, I guess, to be in someone's home and be like, "Oh, did you decide not to make that doctor's appointment because you can't afford it, or you can't?" What are are they showing up at closed hospitals to say, "Well, there's nobody here. Of course, there's nobody here because it's closed." When we are hearing people express their regrets, I think I don't know if you saw the clip of the guy who he said, hold on, I think I have it here. He's apologizing for his vote. Let me run this.
Cleveland, Ohio, Republican. You're on open forum.
Well, I'd like to first say I apologize to all of America and all of Americans. I was a diehard Republican. I cannot believe I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? I am guilty. I drank the Kool-Aid of Donald J. Trump. In fact, I don't even know why we keep saying Donald J. Trump. This man is ruining the Constitution of the United States. What's going on in these southern states, Louisiana and Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, they're taking away the vote from the black man, the fight from the black people that are part of our country. They're stealing their vote. They're making it null and mean nothing. And we need to, I don't know what we need to do, but I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. I know that this country, if you see all the corruption, the billions of dollars that the Trump family is grabbing, and he says it's never about the money. It's all about the money, the lies, the lies, the lies that come out of this man's mouth. Everything he says is not true is exactly what is true. I don't know what needs to be done, but the Democrats need to grab the helm and lead the people what we need to do. They are overwhelming the system of democracy.
I would normally say don't give a man a microphone, but in this case, sir.
I hear that, and like my first reaction is like, is this guy for real? Like, is this a real caller?
Right.
Because he's stating all of these things that Trump is doing, and I'm like, well, but he was doing those before. So what happened in this man's life that suddenly he realizes it? Because he's in
Yeah.
Ohio, he's concerned about the southern states, and I'm like, okay, sure. But I am really confused by people who are now just going, oh, my costs are going up and it is related to Trump. And now I regret I'm very confused because it was pretty clear all along. I mean, he had concepts of a plan for healthcare, if we remember. And I don't see any media grilling him about, well, you had concepts of a plan. Maybe that's why everybody hates you on healthcare, because your concepts of a plan turned into, at one point there was like a 2-page plan, but that's it.
The way that such a large swath of the voting populace has been convinced to vote against their own interests, it couldn't be more clear. But then also more people have been convinced not to vote at all and to be apathetic about it. And then I also get into this same feeling of I'm kind of angry at those people. And I want to say, like, it's about fucking time. Sorry, it's about time. Are we?
Oh, we can swear now. It's the first 10
Okay.
minutes, I think, of a stream
Okay.
that
Thank
now
God.
we can swear.
Okay.
We're fine.
It's about fucking time that they're recognizing this. But then I want to create an off ramp so that they feel that it is a safe thing for them to speak out against, and that they can, because that's the whole point. We need more people to have this realization. But then also there is a sense of anger because of how much destruction they have been a part of creating. And it is only when it hurts them directly. But I also, how racist how racist are they that they're willing to harm themselves at the gas pump and also at the doctor's office and also um just their paycheck. How racist do you have to be that you've convinced yourself that this is the way?
Well,
It's
racism is very expensive, and I don't think that America can afford it anymore. Like,
put it on a t-shirt.
a mug on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what people are starting to realize. They're like, oh, this shit's real expensive. Maybe we need to find another way. And here, people are so like, oh, I don't want my tax dollars going to fund the welfare queens and the this and the that. Forgetting that we pay taxes in order to have a stable economy, a stable country. And so tax dollars going to bomb other countries under the guise of keeping Iran from having a nuclear weapon. Like, so our tax dollars can go to that, but they can't go to stabilize the country where we all actually live. Well, not me, because I'm in Europe, and we'll talk about my $100 MRI in a second. But we have to really convince people that, or remind them that we're all going to pay taxes. We're paying taxes. So therefore, shouldn't those taxes go to provide the services that we need? And that means healthcare, and that means childcare and public roads. Like, we're okay with accepting it for public roads, but then when it comes around to ensuring that we have childcare, not just for other people, but for ourselves as well, nobody should have to foot that bill in its entirety, because it's huge. And they talk about the being underbabied. Well, I only have one kid, and let me tell you, I feel very overbabied because it is expensive. She's 18 now, and college is expensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am definitely adequately babied with my two. And then there's the motherhood website and all of that
Oh my God.
messaging that they're trying to push. But it as though progressive women don't want to and did not. I mean, I think that we really charted that course in healthy organic foods, and look at Michelle Obama's initiative, Let's Move. I mean, this was as though we haven't been at the forefront of this the entire
Well, I
time.
remember when and Republicans were freaking out. They want to try to make you eat kale. Democrats want to try to make you eat vegetables. We're freedom, Twinkies. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, Maha, I don't know what Maha's up to. I know you follow the Maha movement. They're probably disappointed as well right now.
Yeah, I would assume so, because I think that they had this whole idea that RFK Jr. was going to come in and sweep all of these scary, horrible things. I mean, not to throw my entire family under the bus, but I have a relative right now who is pregnant, and she loves RFK Jr.
Still?
And yeah, still we don't. Yeah, she won't watch this. I mean, she might, but I don't think she will. But there are certain things that she feels very strongly about in terms of this pregnancy and the baby. Like, we are talking no polyester in any onesies. I don't believe this baby will be vaccinated. So there are certain things that she feels very strongly about. And it's just, but then also I think that we forget that science is our friend. Vaccines are our friend. And yeah, there's a lot of shit out there that we need to not be consuming. We need to not be participating in, but not everything is bad. We don't need to go full trad.
And here's I understand the wariness around vaccines. Sure. Like, I'm from the Black community. Of course, I understand the wariness around vaccines. And I remember when my daughter got vaccinated, and she was born in Argentina, because I couldn't afford to have a baby in the US. It was like, at the time I was living in Argentina, and I was like, should I come back to the US? And then I looked at what childcare was going to cost and what birthing was going to cost. I was like, I guess I'm having this kid in Argentina. And they wanted to give her the varicella vaccine,
Mm.
which is it that in the US? Is it called varicella as well? The
I'm
chickenpox
what
vaccine?
is it?
It's the
Oh, is that what
chickenpox
it
one.
is? Yeah. Yes.
And I remember thinking, I had chickenpox. I'm fine. Like that was like I'm like, why does she need this vaccine? I had chickenpox, and I have chickenpox scars actually from my chickenpox, and I did let her get the vaccine. I had her get the vaccine, but I understand that sort of like, oh, and I think there was a generation of people who are like, well, I had measles.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm fine. So therefore, and I love to eat clean. I love to make sure that I don't have additives and preservatives in my food. But uh, looking to RFK Jr. as the man to implement what, like, it's a little insane to me because he
It's a lot
lived.
insane.
Yeah, it's a lot insane. It's a lot insane. And here, like, for healthcare, like, we have such low bar for what we'll accept for healthcare. Like, I have hurt my knee.
Mm.
Opened up the app, and I'm in Europe, guys. I'm in Lisbon, and I opened up the app and I scheduled an appointment with an orthopedic, like a sports orthopedist. Just boom, €20 copay. And then he's like, okay, you need an MRI. Cool. Scheduled it for 5 days later. MRI, €100 copay. And now I'm just waiting for my next appointment in a couple weeks to find out what's going on with my knee. And you know what my monthly what payment is? It's private
It's
healthcare. It's
it's
just
gonna make me
guess
sad. Monthly.
monthly.
I mean, like monthly. I just was looking this up. Monthly for an individual off of the marketplace here is around $1,000. I think you can get it for like a little less, but
And then still have to pay copay. Because when I was in California, I was paying for my daughter and I, and this was 3 years ago, I believe, $1,200 a month for the silver plan Blue
mm,
Shield. And so, and it still barely covered anything. And so I had to pay out of pocket a ton. So you figure I was spending, like, I don't know, I'm bad at math, but close to like
mm,
$19,000 a year.
yeah.
And now a month for myself, €80.
Stop it right now.
80. It might be like 83.
I speechless.
Like when people ask me, "Oh, why did you go to Europe?" For a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is my child went to college and I can't afford both college and healthcare for myself and to live. Like, I'm a single mom. US is not affordable.
I'm
Like,
also
I'm
really
priced out.
curious on this same track. What is the maternal mortality rate in Argentina where you
Hmm.
delivered? Like, I wonder what, because I think it, just in case
I will look
anybody
it up.
watching is not aware, that maternal mortality rates for Black women are significantly higher. And we as a nation are failing mothers, specifically Black mothers. And I wonder if Argentina is any different in that.
I'm looking this up now because, yeah, it's so bad in the US that I know Black women, like a friend of mine from college who died in childcare in childbirth for no reason, really, for no
Mm-mm.
reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, she should have had access to adequate care.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm checking for Argentina, and let me tell you, like, in Argentina, they love pregnant women. They make it easy to be pregnant. Like, there's reserved parking spaces at all the stores. When you go to get in line, there's reserved lines for pregnant women. And so, and everybody comes up to you, like, they ask you in public, like, random strangers, are you going to breastfeed? Like, I kid you not, it's like the
Ah,
weirdest thing. They're like, are you going to breastfeed? Are you going to breastfeed? And then you can breastfeed, like, in public, totally normal. Totally normal. In the US now, I think it's more normalized, but at the time when my daughter was born in 2007, it was definitely weird to just, like, whip out a
yeah.
boob in the US and breastfeed. So let's
My
see.
14-year-old, I remember specifically getting eyes and getting directed to cover up when I was nursing in 2012. even in like there are family functions where I remember I was told to go to another room. I was told to breastfeed in a bathroom. Like just
See, and like, how am I going to fist fight while I'm holding a baby?
that part.
Like, like, how am I going to punch somebody in the throat while I'm breastfeeding? Like,
Right. Right. You just need brass knuckles in the diaper bag.
right? Like, I'm sorry, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
We've gone longer than the half hour I said we would.
I love it though.
Yeah, I could talk to you all day. Did we cover everything that I put on my
What is
notes?
that? What's that mortality rate in
Oh,
Argentina? Did you find it?
see, this is why I need Josh,
Yeah.
because I looked it up, pulled it up,
You're like,
and then
had it.
immediately forgot about it. That's ADHD, guys. I can hide snacks from myself, and I will not find them because I have no idea where they are. Okay, maternal mortality rate is 4.4 per 10,000 lives. That seems high.
What is it? I wonder what
It's
it is.
4.4 per 10,000. Well, I'm going to world populate. There's like so
Okay.
many. I want to make sure I'm in a good source.
And while you're looking that up, I just want to also say something that you mentioned earlier about being wary of vaccines. I think not everybody is aware, and probably more my audience might not be aware. At least I hope they are. I've talked about it before, but that the history of gynecological medicine and obstetrics, Black women were used as guinea pigs and tested without pain medication or treatment. And so of course there's another level of generational trauma that feeds into that. So I just wanted to kind of call a little attention to that historical context, because it's I'm not carrying that generational trauma with me into vaccines, and I'm still wary. So that has to be a whole other layer to it that I can't comprehend.
Oh, 100%. And I didn't even tie, because I grew up around white people, I never tied my fear of going to the doctor or not wanting to go to the doctor to race. Like culturally, it was only when I got older that I understood, oh, this is why even when I have insurance, I'm like, I'm fine. I can walk this off. I don't need to. And it is this apprehension. So it looks like for me particular, I would have fared better in Argentina. It's 33 women die per 100,000 live births in Argentina. This is according to worldbank.org statistics. And then for Black women, Black non-Hispanic in the US, 44.8 per 100,000 live births, which was significantly higher than the rate for white non-Hispanic, 14.2. So they're like, yeah, that's a huge difference. So it's like, let the white babies be born. Let's like make sure that that's great. And so for them to try to address the whole underbabied thing and not want to address the disparity in healthcare for Black and Hispanic women, it's, I mean, we know what it is.
Yeah. And this doesn't even bring in the cost angle to it. I wonder, I don't know those numbers, but where things start to cost more, because if you don't have, if you're not insured, if you can't afford what did we say, $18,000 a year in insurance on top of your copay, like if you and I also wonder too, now I'm just gonna like pull a whole thread of all of these things I want to research. But so when I had my first child, he was in the NICU for 1 week, which was less than we thought. It was going to be 6 weeks of NICU time, but it was a whole week, and we reached the maximum out of pocket threshold, which was $10,000.
Okay.
So we paid $10,000 for that baby, and then the next baby got RSV at 3 weeks old and had to be hospitalized for a week. So I thought we got out pretty well with that one, like a $3,000 out of pocket for a C-section, but then another $10,000 for the RSV, and I just don't. It's not sustainable. How are we supposed to How are we supposed to talk about being underbabied when there are so many factors that come into play that just make it unattainable for so many women? And once you're in it, you're in it. But I mean, it's hard. It is hard to keep your head above water.
Yeah, I
So
mean, if they want people to have babies, they should be financing the babies way more so than what's being offered at their moms.gov, which we didn't even get into that. Maybe we'll get into that
next time.
next time. But I can tell you, when my daughter was born in Argentina, my insurance at the time, because I was already pregnant, I had to pay for the expensive insurance. So it was $200 a month, and it covered everything. There were no copays. It
Oh,
just covered everything. They were like, "Oh, you seem tired. Do you want to stay in the hospital another day?" I said, "Yes, thank you." And I did. And you never had to think about, should I or shouldn't I go and get this checked out? Or, oh, I'm a little nervous about how she's breathing. Maybe like all of those things that in the US that you second guess whether or not you should go to the doctor for. The preventative care that exists in a system where healthcare is inexpensive, it's like night and day. It's a level like you just don't have the anxiety around healthcare that you do in the U.S. I'm constantly petrified when I have an emergency or anything in the U.S. and I go, oh God, how much is this going to cost me?
yeah,
Like
absolutely. Right
my
now,
mom.
I have had 2 mammograms this year, and I have a third one coming up. And I have something suspicious, and they won't biopsy it until I have an additional mammogram and ultrasound 6 months from my last one. So I had the first one, and then a month later I had a second one, and then now I'm going to have this third one. And then at that point, they'll decide whether or not they'll biopsy. I could have it biopsied now just because I don't want to wait for that 6 month window for it potentially to get bigger. But I would have to be out of pocket on a biopsy. Like, insurance isn't going to cover me getting a preventative biopsy before the mammogram to see
Well,
if
then
it's
you can just
grown.
come to Portugal. Apparently, that's going to be
Yeah.
the new travel medicine. Is for the same cost that the biopsy would be. You could probably get on a plane and come here. Medical tourism obviously is a thing, but like that's infuriating, Lauren.
It
Like that's
is.
infuriating. They're basically like, "Hey, babe, we're concerned, but we're not that concerned.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
concerned, but you're going to have to come out of pocket if you really want to know." Like it almost feels like a scam.
Yeah.
Like
The American system feels like a whole scam. I mean, everything feels like we are in one big Ponzi scheme, MLM. And you can't escape it. Like, you have to play the game, but playing the game feeds the monster, which keeps it
mhm.
going. And of course, we don't want preventative medicine, because then the pharmaceutical companies aren't going to profit in the same way that we don't want diplomacy, and we don't want to make smart choices in terms of foreign policy, because then what are we doing to the military industrial complex?
Like we need to figure out how to make flowers as profitable as bombs, because if we could just go to all of these like defense contractors and like, look, hear me out. Hear me out. Here are some things that people are willing to spend money on and will pay for, that you can be just as rich. You can have all of the things that you want, and we don't have to worry about people dying. It is frustrating, and I think the more we can learn from each other and other cultures about
Yeah,
how to do it, and the less we have of men running things, because I think that's the common denominator.
it really is. We need the matriarchy. I know that that's
It's
the
yeah.
and I think people forget that matriarchy is not the opposite of patriarchy. It is working within a collective, and I view it I get a visual picture of something circular,
Mhm.
of something that has motion to it, where we're all ebbing and flowing as needed, and when somebody else has access to more resources or strength or time, we can help each other in a circular way that benefits all of us, whereas patriarchy is more top down.
Mhm.
um
Very
I'm on that.
zero-sum game, very like, well, if they have it, then I can't have it. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's a potluck, damn it. Like I would love to see a potluck run by men versus a potluck run by women and see how that works out. You know which potluck you want to go to. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep doing this.
We need to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna stay on topic, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
part of our sparkle. Is not
Yeah,
being on topic.
yeah, exactly. It's our sparkle. I
Hopefully
like it.
less pollen next time. I feel like I'm just tears and
Well, and
everything.
so I have really bad allergies, but I think it's pretty dry here today, so I'm okay. But there are days where my eyes will be gummy as well, to bring it back to the title of the show. We eat gummies, don't have gummy eye. There's a better way to say that. Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you soon. I don't know.